Welcome to the 3 Knockdown Rule.
All right, welcome to another edition of Quick Jabs brought to you by 3 Knockdown Rule. A lot has actually happened since the last time me and Mario Lopez and I recorded. Past Wednesday, one-time Thurman was a man down under, and he got to work knocking out Brock Jarvis in 3. Now, look, is he the same guy that he was in 2015, 16, or 17? No. But then at the same time, you can argue none of us are. Now, here's what I think. He is a guy that's like an old baseball slugger. May not be the guy that hits 45, 50 home runs anymore, but he can still at least put out batting practice fastballs, and in essence, that's what Brock Jarvis served up, and he got him out of there in spectacular fashion. What he did was what he needed to do. That was to leave an impression and to dominate, and now he could be moving on to a showdown in Australia sometime later on this year, I'm assuming, against Tim Tszyu, who takes on Joey Spencer. But Keith Thurman is back, notching his first victory in 3 years. Now, moving on, but staying in the judo middleweight division, there were reports, and there were like some rumors, that a potential fight between IBF junior middleweight champion Bakram Murtalazayev taking on Virgil Ortiz, who's certainly rated among the top 2 or 3 54-pounders in the world, and the current WBC interim champion after a solid victory over Israel Madrimov. Well, what did they say about rumors? How do rumors get started? Started by the jealous people. And unfortunately, this fight was slated to take place in Alcatraz. Folks, that fight is now in Bolivian and is now in jail. It will not be in Alcatraz. A lot of rumors, he said, she said, back and forthing between Main Events, which promotes Murtalazayev, and Virgil Ortiz Sr. This is what I was told by a source at Golden Boy. The fight was offered. In fact, there were several options available. The problem was that the money involved for this particular fight may not even have been as good as what Ortiz got in Riyadh season back about 3-4 weeks ago. So yeah, the money matters. And with that, Ortiz will not be fighting Murtalazayev for a belt. And for Murtalazayev, I know it's a disappointment. It would have been a big stage, big fight. Reality is, you got to get back to work now. He has not fought since mid-October when he shot Tim Tszyu. So there you have it. Murtalazayev, Ortiz, not happening. It's a no-go. Okay, in other news, this came down the pike on Wednesday night. You know, a lot has been said about the sanctioning bodies and how much are they a problem with the game of boxing. I want to give this organization some credit. The WBO, which is now led by Gustavo Olivieri, good friend of mine, and they recently put out an edict that said Alexander Usyk, who is the undisputed, or basic undisputed champion, doesn't have one belt, he has to fight Joseph Parker. Now, the reason why I like this ruling is this. 2 reasons. Number one, Parker, after his victory over Bacole, he's been the interim. And this has been one of the issues with the interim champions with the various organizations. The interims aren't all that interim. In fact, a lot of them seem to be doggone permanent, and they sit there for a while. The WBO is flat out saying, we're going to make you the interim champion, and we're going to elevate you into the number 1 contender. That is what the interim title is really supposed to be by definition. And from a fan's perspective, I get it. The Dubois rematch is one that is enticing. But you know what? I've already seen it. And in an era when boxers only fight once or twice a year, I want to see some variance in opponents. And this is a fact. We have seen Usyk Dubois. We have not seen Joseph Parker. And Joseph Parker's on a really good run, and he's legitimately one of the top 3 fighters in the world in that division. So I say thumbs up and wepa to the Puerto Rican-based WBO. And finally, from the land of the rising sun in Japan on Thursday morning, folks, if you don't have ESPN Plus, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to recommend highly that you watch what took place early this morning for the WBC flyweight title of the world. Kenshiro Teraji, one of the best fighters in the world pound for pound, with an absolute barn burner, rallying late behind on the scorecard to score a 12th round TKO over Seigo Yuri Akui. This was a bloody battle. It really was, and the people that have watched it have said, I know it's only March, but this might be an early contender for Fight of the Year. So if you have the Plus, carve out about 45 minutes of your time and check this out. All right, that's it for the latest edition of Quick Jabs on 3 Knockdown Rule with Steve Kim.
Welcome to the 3 Knockdown Rule.
Hey, you want to see more? Watch the full show now live on YouTube for free or stream our podcast on all major platforms. It's the 3 Knockdown Rule with Steve Kim and Mario Lopez.